Hey guys, welcome back to the 429 podcast. I'm 2.
I'm 9.
And I'm 4.
And welcome back to another episode of Techcast. I think this is Techcast episode 14. But before we get started for Techcast, guys, we just wanted to give you guys a new announcement on behalf of us at the 429 podcast.
You may have noticed something has been different.
You know, it hurts for us to say this, but moving forward for at least till the end of the year, right? We're going to come back and reevaluate, but at least until the end of the year, we're only going to be moving forward with just Techcast episodes. The main reason for this is, we feel the Sunday and Monday morning episodes, depending what time you guys get them, right? We just feel those episodes are not
up to our standards.
Par where we want it. Exactly, 9, right? They're not up to the par like where we want it to be. And so moving forward for at least, temporarily for at least the next couple months, right? Especially now with the holiday season rolling around and a lot of, guys, we work outside this also. So a lot of work deadlines coming in for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to move forward with Techcast, right? I know it's a little sad, it's a little heartbreaking, but we enjoy Techcast. We think Techcast is an amazing way to get our voices out there and to still keep up with the tech news and everything that we already do on a daily basis anyway. So we're definitely going to continue with Techcast. And if who knows if a good Techcast, topic comes out that week, maybe we'll drop an episode, right? So you'll have like sporadic bonus episodes coming throughout for the next couple months, but
or if there's
nothing
specific
really...
things you guys want to hear us talk about, message us those. Let us know, and then maybe we can, discuss actually dropping an episode on custom topics you guys want us to talk about.
100%.
Yeah.
We're not completely abandoning them. We're just taking more of a mental break, a quality break, if you say, to ensure that our standards are still up.
But anyway, guys, that's the one major announcement we have now. But with all that with being said, though, right? If there's any questions or concerns, definitely DM us, reach out to us at the 429 Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, as well as on directly on our website at the429podcast.com, and then subscribe, and leave comments if you guys want to hear more about what our thought process is and what's really going on here. But with that being said, guys, let's get into Techcast. All right. I had a lot of interesting news stories this week, but let's start with a depressing one, at least for maybe you guys, not as much for me, but probably for family members.
Yay!
Netflix is raising the price of its most popular pricing
No!
plan.
No! Come on, man.
I think its most basic plan is now going to $14 a month, and its high-end plan, I think, is at $18 now a month. So
I'm pretty sure I started this plan at $11 a month, and now I'm
you started at 11.
I started 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was an OG. I started at $5.99 a month. I remember those days.
I remember me watching Netflix early in high school morning through my Wii. Classic times. And that only cost me $6 a month.
I actually never bought Netflix before I started getting smart TVs. And my first smart TV was actually a 4K TV. So I, immediately went into the 4K HDR Netflix plan. And that was I want to say $11 or $12 a month at the time. This is a couple years ago at this point. And we've already gotten up to freaking $18 a month. That's absurd. Come on, Netflix.
Yeah, so it's pretty insane. This goes to show you that Netflix is feeling the heat, right? Especially now with Quibi gone, right? Shout out to the last podcast. I think. But with Quibi gone,
he was a huge power vacuum now in the market. Clearly.
But the biggest thing is, as we've seen, Prime Video is really stepping up their game, especially with the new release of Borat last weekend, right? It's freaking killed it. So Prime is really getting up there, especially now that it's included with your Amazon Prime membership. It's really it's like a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, I mean, Prime is just becoming a better deal, and Netflix is just becoming more and more of a consideration to cut the whole thing altogether.
Yep.
Disney Plus has basically pulled all its content from Netflix so it could put it on Disney Plus. So
you got The Mandalorian that's coming out today by the time this releases.
And so Netflix is really feeling the pain. I mean, they have some nice custom originals that we've been talking about lately, but at the same time, it's not enough to keep them sustained at this moment in time. So we'll see how it goes. But as of right now, they're raising the prices, and we'll see how the market reacts to this, right? It should be an interesting one to see for our pandemic lives moving forward,
It's it's really sad, but we kind of saw this right on the wall in the last price increase. I just didn't expect it to be close.
Yeah.
but we'll see.
All right, let's get into the next story. This is an interesting one, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but AppSheet by Google Workspace is now live. Now, if you guys don't know what AppSheet is, right? AppSheet is basically a no-code app building platform, and now that Google bought it, it's powered by Google. So you guys can really make, nice custom websites, platforms, and everything like that, all no-code style, just using AppSheet. So I want to get your guys' thoughts on this, right? Feel free to click on the link that I just picked you guys to get more info. Let me take a look at
this. I've actually never heard of this before, so let's see what's going on here. AppSheet.
I'm looking at it. So it's pretty interesting. It kind of reminds me like a pretty much a more power-up Google Forms, right?
You can think about it that way, but at the same time, it has the capacity to work with Google Drive, Dropbox, Office 365, Tableau, other cloud spreadsheets and database platforms.
What this kind of seems like to me? I don't necessarily originally when you first said this, I was thinking it was going to sound like a Wix or like a WordPress, but
not at all though.
I think this actually seems more like a SharePoint alternative.
Ideally, yeah. It could be a SharePoint alternative. It's really a platform as a service, right? Yeah. So it's really just it provides amazing connections to any database, any Salesforce is what I'm seeing here, as well as any Microsoft products with Office 365, Dropbox, or Box, Google Forms, Google Sheets. Obviously, now that it's bought by Google, they could really do anything, right? And even just your regular DBs, your Postgres, that's a big fan of 4 over there, but MySQL, SQL Server, Amazon DynamoDB, and it's all cloud-based. This is all cloud-based, right? Which is insane, right? So it's definitely interesting. And it's all no code, right? So it's really, this is designed for business people to use and design their own platforms for.
That's really cool.
What were you saying for?
I was saying that's BA stuff right here.
Yeah. So
business analyst.
It's pretty dope, and so we'll see how it actually progresses through. Like every other Google thing we've seen as of late, it's been like a quiet release, so I don't see it going super crazy. But we'll really see how it plays out, and it should be exciting to see.
For me right now, the only real like instant use I can think of immediately is like it's good for like prototyping.
Yep.
Quick prototyping for app ideas or website ideas you have, and you want to really see how it really functions with actual data. That'd be really nice.
This is also really good for like dashboarding people. Yeah.
That's what exactly I was right. Immediately, like the amount of stuff you can display from here so easily is insane.
It's like take your like average business like a restaurant, for example, who has all this statistics and metrics and everything inside of an Excel sheet. Now you can make like a nice dashboard out of it using AppSheet and provide some nice, data mining, some data tools and everything to see, all right, what's my profit going to look like and stuff like that. Maybe create some projections out using AppSheet and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
So It's very interesting and very powerful for the non-programmers who are involved who don't know Python and can't do stuff like this, right? So I think it's definitely a really good plus and a really, I would say, needed benefit, but I just want to see what the adoption really looks like, right? Because we've seen tons of these no code kind of like styling things, right? But they don't really take off just because there's too much of a learning curve. But with Google notoriously being known for like their amazing documentation, right? Like I can't wait to see really what comes out of this. So
it'd be interesting. Honestly, it's kind of like it's up in the air. I know like low code is kind of a movement that's only recently started and recently kind of picking up momentum, and I think it does have its place, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it can never really truly satisfy actual development from work.
100%. I wouldn't say this is for the those crazy Fortune 500 enterprises and stuff like that, but it's definitely for the mom and pop small businesses to give them at least some of a leg up with their competition, who are the big box retailers and stuff like that, right?
Exactly.
Yep. Absolutely.
Cool. Moving forward, another new piece of news that I stole from Nine that pinged me this morning about this, right?
There's a lot from me.
You mean you're Yahoo? In advance?
Yahoo has come out with their own phone, right? So Verizon has released a new ZTE.
I didn't hear about this.
Right, which is Verizon released a new blade, which is the CTE that will, what's it called? That will basically be powered by Yahoo, right? So it's a Yahoo mobile phone. It has all Yahoo apps, all Yahoo, intricacies and everything. So pretty
Yahoo
exciting
Life.
to see this. Pretty exciting to see this. And Nine sent this to me because I still use Yahoo.
Only person I know that uses Yahoo still.
Yeah.
I can't be the only person.
Only
right?
person. Only person. Guaranteed. Even their offices are empty.
Man, that kind of hurts me. But
That's
like
how it is. I mean,
who's-
honestly, this phone is kind of like, in a weird way, it's cool. Mostly the color kind of just attracts me. I've never seen such a purple phone.
such a deep purple, right?
Yeah, and I love deep purple. It's one of my favorite
So
colors. So like, it's such, and you never see it like used. I would love to see like a deep metallic purple and then like an iPhone or something like that. I think that would be like instantly gorgeous. And I guess also the big thing we should talk about is the price. I mean, $50 for a phone.
You guys, who used the deep purple for their logo?
Who?
Quibi.
Ooh. Oh yeah. R.I.P. Quibi.
Oh, it just keeps coming back. It's the cycle that never ends. Everything's back.
Honestly, it's probably the most publicity Quibi's gotten in a while, and that's not saying much, to be honest with you. But it's pretty interesting to see. And the phone's only $50. That's kind of a little shocking to me because it's a smartphone and you're buying it in the United States.
I mean, just looking at it, I mean, it looks like the type of phone you get like for free if you like sign up for their like cellular provider. It's one of those like giveaway phones,
That is true, but I have to say, Nine, I hate to break your heart here, I will not be getting this phone. And there's just one and only one reason for it. I don't use Verizon, so I kind of can't.
Oh, it's only with Verizon?
Yeah. So
what if you just don't use it as like a phone?
just keep it as a relic,
Yeah, like a historical piece.
Historical piece.
It's okay. You don't what to. You don't need to get it. I already know. Also, unrelated note. I know what I'm getting to for Christmas, but let's.
I'll use it to just check my email. That's the only thing I'll use it for.
Or just use it for all your Yahoo emails, your Yahoo articles, your Yahoo weather, your Yahoo horoscopes that I know you look at.
Not anymore. I used to, but
see, we ran out of money.
All right, moving forward. This is another small story, but Microsoft has made it official. I know we talked about this a few Techcast episodes ago, but the new Windows 10 update has just permanently removed Adobe Flash.
What? I thought we had more time. I thought we had more time.
So Adobe Flash Player is officially leaving Windows computers, which power about 85 to 90% of computers worldwide.
What?
So all those computers that are on Windows 10, so everyone besides 4's desktop.
No, my desktop is Windows 10 now.
Oh, you upgraded?
Now. It's been like that for like almost a year at this point. I did it a long time ago.
Oh, okay. So every computer that I know of now, if you're using Windows 10 and you just got the new update, say goodbye to Flash Player. So good luck playing all those games on addicting games or marked cards or whatever, because they're gone.
My childhood, it's gone.
I do want to point out, you reminded me of this. Apparently, Windows 7 product keys still work for Windows 10 activations, even though supposedly the free transfer, quote unquote, is over.
Nice. I'm sure there's probably that one engineer at Microsoft who's probably like, yeah, someone will deal with it later,
Hey, did you make sure to put the expiration dates correctly? Yeah. 2050.
Honestly, though, if you see someone like throwing out an old computer or whatever, like check the back of it. Odds are you get a nice product key. It's like $100 piece of software you're just pulling for free.
Or just go to those what's it called? Those big close down deals or those garage sales. They usually have like a couple of those old server keys. Just snag a 7 one. They're good.
Go walk through Best Buy and just snap pictures of their product keys on there.
We do not advise that, but that'll be an idea that's lingering.
Oh god.
We don't advise that, but
no, definitely don't advise that.
Ford did put it out there. I'm just saying.
No, I did not. That was just a joke.
Another one is interesting is like if your local schools are probably upgrading their infrastructure now with the whole COVID regulations and everything, right? Find out if they got a spare computer laying around. There's probably a server key you could just pull from one of those because they never check those anyway. To be honest,
schools are constantly throwing out computers.
Exactly. So it's like feel free, just ping away and just you could probably just find one walking down the street. So good luck with all that. But yeah, so it's a teary goodbye. It's Adobe Flash, but
I thought we had more time. I thought it was the end of this year.
But
no more Flash viruses. Yeah, get them out of here.
No. Yeah, so if you definitely get a Flash virus alert on your computer now, and you just upgrade to the new Windows 10, please, for the love of God, don't call the number. Please, just it doesn't exist anymore.
What are you talking about? It's Microsoft. They want to help me.
Of course it is.
They
right?
want to help me. They just need to pay a $200 service fee
And Target gift cards.
and then can Target gift cards, and then they'll help me right away. But first, I got to pay them, and then they'll help me.
And then also
make
the
sure-
IRS is on the other line.
The IRS is on the line. Don't forget. And also, I need help with Quipit tech support.
Yeah.
And you're talking to Roy Jones, right? The Roy Jones, the guy who has the most American name ever, but has the deepest Indian accent known to man.
Yeah. And I'm also talking to. He's a white hat technician, so he knows exactly what he's talking about.
Got it.
He's the special level 3 certified technician. Oh my god.
He's very smart.
And he's located in Dallas, right?
And Dallas and sometimes California, always, for some reason, even though he doesn't know the weather there.
Or the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he just works so hard, That's only the reason.
Man.
Let's get into the next group of, now these 4, I would say, are the big stories for this week, right? So let's crack into it. First one, this is a big one, right? NASA just discovered an asteroid Psyche, right? So what that means is basically it was like a developing planet, but never got to actually fully develop because of like one thing or another, maybe a solar wind, maybe a rock crashed into it, whatever it may be,
sad.
right?
It couldn't grow up
off its axis.
But it's basically a just full-blown metal asteroid now that's worth, get this guys, $10 quadrillion.
On a space.
Right? That's 10 followed by 19 zeros. And just to put that in perspective, $10 quadrillion is about, I think they estimated at 5 times the amount of money in the world. Like you could take all the money in the world, put it together, multiply it by 5, and you still don't reach this number.
Yep. Elon Musk thinking face.
Right. So
how far is this? If let's say one to reach.
Well, so let's put it this way: NASA is sending a probe to this asteroid, and will land this probe on this asteroid for the next 2 years to gather scientific data to figure out how planets are actually formed.
Sure. Scientific data.
Right. Or if not, this might just be another bonus for NASA to add to their space agency fund, maybe this will save Social Security.
The probe is expected to launch in 2022 and will arrive at the asteroid in 2026.
What? Hey, maybe this will save our Social Security fund in the United States. Who knows?
That's 4 years.
But they said that if and this, believe it or not, it's a big asteroid. It's about the size of Massachusetts, the state of Massachusetts in the United States, right? So it's a pretty big asteroid. And if this was to ever come towards Earth, forget about the amount of people that would die, right? Because there's going to be a ton of people that will die.
Massachusetts size of people that would die, right? But at the same time, it would just cripple the whole world economy at the same exact time. Because you have something falling from the sky that's worth $10 quadrillion, the whole market, all your savings, everything you've ever had in life is just gone to shit, right? So it's like... Not unless I got it first.
Yeah, your inflation just went to like 900 million, even more, right? 900 quadrillion.
On my property in particular.
I mean, if it does,
squatter rights. What if I squat on it? Is it mine?
Would you squat on it? It's yours.
It's mine. I own it now. You get away.
Right, but it's pretty insane. So interesting to see how NASA plays this one out. I love these space discovery things, right? Because it's always something like pie in the sky kind of thing, but they found out. Like the other day I was reading an article. They found water on Mars, right?
Yep.
Not Mars. I'm sorry, on the moon, right? Like liquid water, not even ice, like liquid water they found on the moon.
Yeah, right? I heard about this. Basically, it was coming from asteroids that have been hitting the moon. And basically it's just been pooling in one of the biggest craters. You can actually see it every time it's a full moon. It's one of the largest craters in the bottom of the visible part of the moon.
And what's crazy about that,
right? Isn't it because like the moon has like 1 week day and night cycles, and the ice is typically on the opposite side of the moon, and it just so happened to be in a place where it was receiving enough sunlight to melt but not evaporate or something like that? I don't quite remember.
It's part of that, but it's also part of the reason it's just been it's been getting water from just asteroids over the years, just hitting it and then like landed in that crater, and the crater just formed the perfect like what's it called, like pooling.
And now they're just trying to figure out, right? Now this is official because, they always talked about water on the moon and stuff like that, right? But they made this official because they didn't know beforehand if it was actually water or if it was like a close cousins of water called hydrogen oxide or some shit like that, right? I'm not a chem guy, right?
Fake water.
Right. Basically, so they couldn't never tell, but now they were able to tell by sending a probe there. So it's actually interesting to see how this will play out too. Maybe we set up a settlement on the moon, and get to $19 quadrillion or something.
We're long overdue for that. We should be having people on the moon yesterday.
I mean, I'm very happy here on Earth, but good luck, guys.
You're the first one up there. I already booked your trip with your new Yahoo phone.
Next piece of news, right? Next second big piece of news, right? 9, you might already know about this. But if not, I'm excited to bring this news to your ears.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know about anything.
Microsoft has lost its top director for Halo.
I knew this.
Right? So Halo will now be delayed. And that's a pretty big standing loss, considering Microsoft's trying to, beat out for the Xbox Series X and everything with the console wars. But we'll see how this all plays out. 9, I'm very curious to get your thoughts on this one.
Well, the biggest concern is that from the community is that this is not the first time it lost its director. This is actually the second time it lost its director over the course of development. So it's pretty worrying news when you have a project as massive Halo and you have its main its main directors just jump ship midway through. It's not a good sign. He said it that basically he's happy with the project, and he's confident the team will come, pull through. But for me, it sounds like he just PR talk to save face, and not cause any chaos. But it's pretty worrying. Not to mention that when they demoed the gameplay over the summer, a huge course of memes came out mocking it for its graphical appearance and its animations and stuff, which caused the delay. Because initially it was supposed to come out during the launch of the console. So it just seems like every month there's a new course of bad news that talks about this development.
Let's everyone just be real here for a second, okay? Halo peaked at Halo 3, Halo ODST, and Halo Reach, and it's been nothing but downhill since Reach. And
Halo peaked when Bungie left, basically.
Absolutely. I'm more than happy to have a change of management again because I want to get back to the original Halo vibes. So let's.
It seems like they were going with that. There. It seems like that was the original plan too. If you notice a lot of the art piece and the concept art, it seems a lot of it's kind of influenced by the first Halo, right? The same kind of villas and kind of luscious grinds in the Halo ring. Mm-hmm. It's supposedly open world, so it's kind of a big change for Halo. It's always been kind of very linear. So I'm kind of excited for it, but all the news I hear about it kind of worries me that it's gonna be pretty bad when it comes out.
Destiny route, open world Halo? I don't know.
It's more like Far Cry, I would say. Kind of an open world story play. You kind of do
Far Cry.
Yeah,
that's a great game.
I don't know.
Well, not recently, but the old ones were pretty good.
Old ones are good. All right, moving forward, next piece of news. Small news, but thought we should address this because me and Nine had an interesting conversation about it earlier. Google is changing up their logos.
I hate it.
Right? So the immediate reaction we just got from Four was he hates it. I'm kind of in the same boat, right? I'm not a big fan of the change here. But Nine, what are your thoughts? I know we were talking about this earlier.
I see why people hate it. But someone who kind of dabbles in the UI and UX community and kind of gets insight from people. They have actually talked about this, and a lot of them actually kind of like it, and it makes sense if you understand UX and UI, because one of the big principles in that is consistency, right? And this just screams consistency. Instantly now this is an Apple product line, right?
You mean Google?
Oh, sorry, Google product line.
There you go. He already doesn't know. So you already failed.
I knew what it was. In my brain, my mouth was too slow. But instantly, that this is a line of Google. Everything seems consistent. One of the things I actually hated very early on years ago was that sometimes a lot of the Google apps were it seemed like it was made by entirely different style guides. Right? This is long ago, but it used to be it didn't feel, all a one unit kind of thing. I think the last iteration, the ones that we see here, was pretty good, right? It had similar stylings. That was nice. But I think what people have an issue with is that they kind of took it too far. It's like it went too similar now. And now the issue is that it's hard to tell one apart at a glance. Right. And I totally see those concerns.
This kind of hurts. I honestly, to be honest with you, I think it hurts Google in a way for doing this, especially now, because they're already under a monopoly lawsuit from the United States government, right? Like, you're already under all that scrutiny. You're already under the realm of the government saying, hey, no, you guys are too big of a company. Now that you're making all your products the same color scheme logo, now you're going to really get people to be like, oh, wow, that's owned by Google too? Oh, what about that? Oh, that too? Like,
well, you gotta remember, like, Google owns a lot more stuff than even most people know, right? And this kind of change only really affects their core products, right? The things that already have, like, Google in the name. Like, most of these already have the word Google in them. Like,
what
Google.
Do you mean? You don't use Google YouTube?
Yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, like I said, YouTube doesn't get changed by this fact. So that's what I'm saying. But, like, the core ones, like Google Docs, Google Drive, Google Calendar, Google Gmail, like, these all have already Google in their name, basically. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't think it would cause that much of an issue in that case. But you're right about that case. It might at least share some light how much Google actually owns. But the big issue is that Google's always been doing this for you. That's been their kind of goal since the beginning.
Let me give you my caveman rundown on this.
Okay, it's ugly.
Give me your caveman rundown.
Me no like colors. Come on, I don't like that. Like, it just looks ugly. It's like blocky, and like those colors don't flow together very well. And like,
that's the style right now. It's supposed to be
like their old apps. Like, look at that Gmail app. That was so clean and sleek, and like the calendar, like now exactly what it is, and like Sheets, or I'm sorry, Google Docs right there. You know what it is. Like, you know exactly what you're gonna click on. Like, you know what you're loading just based on the icon. Like, what are those icons? You have no idea. You can't even tell. They don't look like anything.
Honestly, the Google Meet one has really changed, right? Like, I think that's a completely different service now, to be honest with you.
I think the best one is Google Meets. I think the worst ones that was the Gmail and the Google Docs.
Absolutely.
I think those are the worst.
I like the Google Drive change. It's very subtle. I don't know if you guys even see it, right? It's a very subtle change.
It's clear that the new style guide is stemming from Google Drive's principle, kind of a 3 primary color idea, and then essentially blocky and straight lines, right? Mm-hmm. The issue I have is that, like Forrest said, there's too much colors, right? Usually you want to go for like 2, maybe 3 primary colors. In this case, they're doing like basically 4 colors.
It's like a 100 by 100 pixel logo. Like, why do you need 5 colors in it? Like, it was fine the way it was.
Honestly, what would have been really good would have been just having these 5 and each of them representing a color. Kind of how they were before. Like, having Gmail all red, right? And having shades of red. And then Docs all blue and having shades of blue. But there's just so many apps that guy wouldn't work. So I kind of see the issue. But I don't know.
All right. Let's move on.
Let's get into the last 2 stories, right? This is the big one, and then the last one's going to be a very, very interesting one. I don't know, you guys are definitely going to find the last one the most interesting. But this one, big tech is back in DC. You had Jack Dorsey, Mark Zuckerberg, and of course they brought back my favorite, Sundar Pichai, back for more tech support questions. Again, so I don't know if you guys actually watched it, but
I did.
It's honestly, it's just really an election. It's really just an election grab at this point, right? Republicans are grilling. The Republican side party is grilling them about, what about all these misinformations and fake news and yada yada yada. Then you have the Democrats who are also arguing about the same thing, but they're saying that, why don't you report this or report that? The biggest thing they were really focused on from the Republican side was Twitter and Jack Dorsey, which I don't know if you guys saw a picture of Jack Dorsey, but Jack Dorsey has really let his beard grow out, right?
Oh my God, I just saw it.
Right, it's pretty big. He doesn't look the same, but
he didn't look like that before the pandemic, right?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
I'm looking at. Oh no, he didn't.
Jack Dorsey is also the CEO of Square. He was really under fire because Twitter was one of those first companies that actually blocked the Hunter Biden story that went viral a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's really just been a grudge match between these tech CEOs, and these guys here. They kept asking, why is Google biased? Sundar Pichai, the poor man, I feel like he's here every week. Like he might as well just buy a house in DC at this point and just be like, look, we're not biased. You put things on the internet go boom. That's it. But they can't seem to understand that. A couple senators still don't know that Google's tracking their cell phone, and they keep asking him, does Google know where I'm at now? So I feel very bad.
How does Google know I like this restaurant? I go to it every Friday, but how does it know?
Because you left a review that said you liked it.
But how does it know? How computer know?
So, I feel the most bad about Sundar Pichai because the poor man doesn't do anything, right? Like he's just there, right? I feel like they're just calling him for tech support as backup, and like if someone's computer breaks, he'll go there. So
But
Sundar Pichai, if you're listening to
he gives good tech support though. You can't deny that.
Well, Sundar Pichai, if you're out there, I feel your pain, and I'm sorry you're going through all this again and again and again. Like, honestly, please invest in some property down there. It might just make the most sense. But maybe rent it out to Mark Zuckerberg, who seems to be there every other weekend also now too. So like, Mark Zuckerberg, they're going through the Holocaust denial stuff that actually became very prevalent last week and this week because of, I don't know if you guys saw the new Borat movie, but I won't spoil much details. But it makes fun of the fact that if Facebook talks about Holocaust denial and there's so much misinformation on Facebook and how people get their news from Facebook, and so the new Borat movie actually targeted that in a couple scenes, and so it's pretty interesting to see that they brought this to light. But I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? It's an interesting one, but I feel like this is just another one of those, like, Congress doesn't understand tech. Tech is trying to explain it to Congress, and nothing actually happens at the end of the day. But what are your guys' thoughts?
Dude, I have no idea what to think. I really don't know. I have no idea what's gonna happen. I have no idea like how these things are gonna turn out. Like every other week,
we're talking about this.
I honestly just have no idea how things are gonna end up. So.
But I feel like every other week we're talking about this. Like it's like every other week their computer's breaking, right? And like they're calling Sundar Pichai back. But I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I can't get over his beard.
Yeah, long
Jack Dorsey does have a very new beard now, and it freaked me out the first time I saw it too. Like you see Sundar Pichai looks the same. Mark Zuckerberg still looks like, people call him a lizard, but like I don't feel that way, but like I think he looks exactly the same. Then you see Jack Dorsey, who just did like a full 180. You're like, who the hell's that guy?
All right, like, let's hop on to the last story. I think we're just about out of time here.
Final story, and I'm very surprised at the both of you, 4 and 9, because I'm the one who has to bring this up.
Yeah, I already saw it.
The Herman Miller chair has been released, and the reviews are in. And they are exactly what we were talking about, what you guys were speculating. It's a super comfy chair. It's super expensive, but everyone is saying it's worth the price.
I knew it. And I'm going to buy one. With Choose credit card.
Oh, damn it. But so it's interesting to see. And I don't know. Just wanted to get your thoughts out here for 4 and 9. What you guys feel about this chair. And main question is, are you getting one?
Nope, I won't be getting one. I would love to have one, but I just can't justify spending $1,500 on a chair.
Now, if Herman Miller wants to reach out and maybe give us some chairs, I wouldn't say no.
Absolutely not.
I wouldn't say no, and I would just say our contact information is on our website, the 429podcast.com.
You can also reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are checking that rapidly and all the time, so please feel free to reach out. And if you want to sponsor us, even just give us one chair, we'll fight to the death for it, and we'll make it live on the podcast.
I'll
take one for the team.
I already said dibs. Sorry. So I'll sacrifice my comfort and my lumbar support to test this out if needed. Don't worry. I'll do a good job.
But all in all, guys, right, this is the end of episode 14 of Techcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Right. Again, follow, subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as check out our website at the429podcast.com. And guys, if you guys want to hear a story from us on a longer podcast, reach out to us. Let us know. We'd be happy to record it. But until then, we will see you next week at next week's Techcast. We hope you guys have a very safe and happy Halloween. And we shall see you next week. Bye, guys.
Later.
Bye, guys.